Company presents the National Football League. Today from Busch Stadium, it's the Kansas City Chiefs versus the St. Louis Cardinals. The Kansas City offense, and the quarterback is Bill Kinney. Boyce Green and Mike Pruitt, the running backs. Carlos Carson, sprained foot, not expected to play, so Marshall and Page are the wideouts, and Walt Arnold is the tight end. Eatman, Buddy, Donnelly, Addix, and Baldinger, that offensive line that's just getting better and better and better. And Kinney comes out throwing. Steps away from pressure, just dumps it off, and it is dropped. And that is Mike Pruitt, who was his escape valve. It'll be second down and 10. Speak Galloway and Baker, the front three. This will be their basic set. Freddie Joe Nunn. Monaco starting for E.J. Jr. This is the first NFL start for Ron Monaco, rookie free agent. Nico Noga and Charlie Baker. Carter, Mack, Smith, and Young in the secondary. For Carter on the left. Little jumping, flag down. Free play for Kansas City. Pass is complete to Henry Marshall. He goes out at the 31-yard line. I believe that St. Louis was offside. Well, twice it did. So the coaching staff does remember. Inside handoff that is barely made to Larry Moriarty to the 39-yard line. A gain of only 3, so it's going to be fourth down and 2 as David Galloway, the nose tackle, was there to close him down. And that means that Kansas City will be kicking. I'm surprised they ran. Cardinals, Neil Lomax returns to quarterback. He's been out for a couple of ball games. Stump Mitchell, Earl Farrell, the running backs. Farrell is injured, bad ankle. J.T. Smith, Roy Green, the wide receivers. Doug Marsh is the tight end. And St. Louis on offense for the first time. Sharp, Kennard, Chilton coverage for Kansas City. The defense for Kansas City, basic set, Still, Moss, and Koch. And the 4 linebackers with Cooper, Hackett, Radisek, and Tim Cofield. Here are rookies both playing very well. Excellent secondary with Lewis, Ross, Burris, and Cherry. Clark will come in at center, and Chilton will move from center over to guard. Lomax going deep out of the shotgun. Far side, it is tipped. It is no good. There's a flag down.
It appears as if there's some pushing going on down below with J.T. Smith from that, Troy Johnson, number 87.
Number 29 on the defense. First down.
The City 35-yard line. J.T. Smith in the slot on the right side. There's a blitz coming, and Lomax will go down. Cooper got him, and that is going to be the first sack for Kansas City.
For a couple of weeks. We're going to find out this afternoon.
Lomax from the shotgun, pressure from Kansas City, and the pass over the middle is complete, and it is Troy Johnson. They're going to mark the play down at the 29-yard line.
Lomax out and setting up this field goal attempt.
46 yards on the field goal attempt by Eric Schubert, and he does not make it. So Schubert, in replacing the injured John Lee, misses from 46 yards away. We've got a timeout, and we have no score between Kansas City and St. Louis.
As Rush, the passer, he's not that strong against the run.
Kinney fires over the middle. It is incomplete. He was going to Walt Arnold, the tight end, and Arnold was just crushed by Lionel Washington, number 48. Over to whose first kick was only, 27 yards, I believe.
And Lionel Washington with the big hit. He's sub on the
ball. They've had the only scoring opportunity, missed on the field goal. And here's Lomax. And he has the first down out to the 40. 41, maybe the 42-yard line. 17 yards. And the first down. Whitney Paul makes the tackle.
Game of the division-leading Broncos, the LA Raiders, 8-4 are just one game back.
They mark the play down at the 40. This is the first down. It is juggled, pulled down, back-to-back first downs. This was J.T. Smith that pulled it in. And the Cardinals are on the move.
Remember, he was released by the Kansas City Chiefs last year, picked up by the St. Louis Cardinals, and he makes a fine catch, one-handed grab, and that's just a little bit more adrenaline, Charlie, when he knows going against his former teammates, he wants to have the big game. You go the extra inch, the extra yard, and he gets it there and gets a block by Rory Green. Well, a missed block by Rory Green to pick up a few extra yards.
Lloyd Burris and Kevin Ross. This city, I think I said the 38. It was the 44. And Lomax steps away and is being chased. And a comeback pattern on the far side is going to be incomplete, I believe, but there's a flag drop at the 24-yard line, and Deron Cherry is arguing with the official. So it may be holding in the secondary, because it will be two, and right now the Raiders, Kansas City, I guess in New England.
Interference. Number 20 on the defense. Touchdown.
And there you saw Deron Cherry continuing his argument, just to put a little bit of an arm on the official, just to say, Mr. Official, I didn't do anything. And the official looked at him, don't you ever put a hand on me again.
And you saw the penalty yardage already, 3rd down and 5. Kansas City 53 yards in penalties. Of course, 20 of that came on the pass interference call on Deron Cherry. Now from the shotgun, here's Lomax. Has time, and he hits Green. 5-yard line. 1st down and goal to go for St. Louis. Kevin Ross pulled him down, along with Sherman Cockcroft.
And a couple of things going for him. One was Rod Dowhauer, then their offensive coordinator. That magic has been missing the last 2 seasons. Now Roy Green finally getting a catch for the first time in the past couple of weeks has got to have his confidence a little bit higher than it was coming in today.
Butler they now lead Green Bay 12-10 with 2.5 to go in that ball game. That score just into us as Green with a little stutter step, and the pass is there. It is complete, and it is Roy Green with the touchdown. Schubert to attempt the point after. Bernardo with the hold, bad snap. And Kent Austin, the holder, just tried to scramble for anything. So we've got a timeout. St. Louis has the lead 6-0. Tight end is in. 3rd down. From the shotgun. The pass outside to Hurd, and he is dropped at the 31. Has 3. It'll be 4th and 5. Leonard Smith, the leading tackler, is the man who moves up and brings him down, and he's still playing with that soft cast as he has a broken bone in his hand. Pretty good kick. Taken at the 34-yard line by Sikahema. He reverses. He's to the 40. Ran into his own player. The 48-yard line. He ran into Anthony Bell, and then Sherman Cockcroft got him for Kansas City. Almost broke it. Line. 35 yards on the kick and a 15-yard return. And play action, and the blitz comes from the outside. Kevin Ross with the 2nd sack of the ball game for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Outside, Kevin Ross came earlier. They were lucky to get the football away. Neil Lomax has been the most sacked quarterback in the NFL over the past 2.5 weeks.
2.5 years.
2.5 years.
139 sacks. Now with today, it's 141.
Right.
Is set to give the Cardinals pretty good field position. Lewis Colbert with the kick. And it is taken at the 32 to the 40 and pulled down at the 44-yard line by Lewis Cooper.
They played the same thing here.
3rd down and 8. And it is there to Roy Green. And a 1st down at the Kansas City 42-yard line. 2nd and 15. Lomax to throw far side. It is there. It is complete to J.T. Smith. Kevin Ross with the defensive coverage close to the 1st down. You like to lock her next to the quarterback if you're a receiver. Kansas City comes up with the football. Big turnover for the Kansas City Chiefs.
He reacts to what he sees, but he has blitzed already twice in this football game. There, the fumble occurred a little bit earlier. He was not blitzing on the play, but does have the and eventually seems to be shaken up a bit on the play. And
Jay Novacek is the man who made the tackle and may have saved a touchdown. We'll be back. It was 46, 8:55 left to go. 2nd quarter. Cardinals lead it 6-0. Kenny fires underneath the coverage. And St. Louis has the ball. David Galloway.
Ball go wherever it is, regardless if you're getting beaten up in the middle as he is. 65, the middle of your screen. The ball is thrown to Paul Kaufman. It's punched out when he gets hit, and there's Galloway looking like a fullback running down the right sideline. Finally pulled down by number 89, Henry Marshall.
Here comes the blitz from the outside. The pitch is to Mitchell, and the defense is there.
Along with Lewis Cooper, make that 46 defense work. And here it is now. That is the 46.
Max throws. It is pulled down by Earl Farrell. And Farrell will move to the 43-yard line. And it will be 4th down as we pause briefly for station identification.
This has not worked against this Cardinal defense.
Now, Kansas City without the services of Carlos Carson. He's out with a sprained foot, and that really affects their passing attack. We'll be talking about that right after this play. No, they're going to stay on the ground. Here's Herman Hurd. Hurd to the 21-yard line, maybe the 22. To those in a moment. Kansas City at the 25, and here is Herman Hurd. A flag is down, and he breaks it to the 37 or the 38-yard line. It will be a 1st down if it stands up, but the penalty will go against Kansas City. So the
him to the sidelines, but now getting an opportunity here.
Holding, number 85 on the offense, still 3rd down.
Holding on Jonathan Hayes, 4th penalty against Kansas City for 63 yards in the 1st half. So take it back to the 14-yard line. They're going to mark it the 15-yard line, actually. And the Cardinals have not drawn a penalty. 3rd down and 12. It's almost as if Kansas City only throws the ball when they're forced to throw the ball.
Which is very uncharacteristic of their offense.
Yeah. Kenny back. Boyce Green on a little delayed screen. Now, if he was behind and it was a lateral, it's a backward pass and a touchdown for St. Louis.
David Galloway with the dance. That's a second.
Now, remember, a backward pass cannot be advanced unless you pick it off in the air. A fumble can, but a backward pass cannot. If it's ruled a backward pass or a lateral, it can only be recovered but not advanced.
But where does he recover it is the question.
Right there.
It cannot be advanced. It's 1st down and goal from the 6-yard line.
That's right.
And you go to the head of the class. Exactly. He picked it up about the 3-yard line, so that's where it has to stay. David Galloway, a little different.
Roy Green, a timing pattern. He cut it off. He came underneath, and the pass was towards the corner.
Well, that's a very common mistake executed by both a wide receiver and a quarterback that close to the goal line. Was in an intermediate position, and because of that, Albert Lewis caused that. They weren't sure about whether they should go for either the quick throw over the top or the quick out, as the field goal is through and good.
From 21 yards away, Eric Schubert has the field goal, and the Cardinals now lead by a score of 9-0. And so, in reality, going back to the missed touchdown opportunity, was it Lomax's fault? Should he have waited then and to see which way Green's going, or is there time?
No, simply miscommunication. There's no time. He's got to take 3 steps and throw the football. Albert Lewis, 2 steps off the line of scrimmage. Green decides, well, he's off the ball, right to you.
His daughter thought that was Gracie because she had lost 3. Yeah, he was beat up though. Has pressure, and he is sacked again, and Baker gets him. So 2 sacks for the Cardinals, and both in this defensive stand. Yards and a touchdown. Roy Green, 3 receptions, 29 yards, and the touchdown. Stump Mitchell, 8 carries, only 4 yards rushing. This is Earl Farrell. Farrell takes it at the 50, goes to the 49. Pearson makes the tackle. Hurry up offense. And here is Stump. Mitchell shakes a couple of tacklers. He has the 1st down, goes to the 42-yard line. He has 8 yards on the play. Lathrop makes the tackle for Kansas City. And here comes the blitz. The pass is intercepted. Kansas City has the ball. Green, the intended receiver, was that Deron Cherry? Yes, who picked off the interception. With a diving interception for Deron Cherry. That is his 5th of the year.
And a mistake on the part of Green, it seemed. He does break his pattern off, though. He saw the blitz coming from the inside. His job is to break the pattern out. I take that back. Let's not blame that on Roy Green. Let's blame that back on Neil Lomax. What happens there?
They have 3 timeouts, and they need to get something going. Wobbly high and almost intercepted back. Carl Carter had his hands on it. Kenny is down. The two flashes bites his tongue this weekend. Inside handoff. It is there, boys. Green. And Green close to the first down. It was 2nd down and 10. Clock moving 1 minute to go. And of course, that's plenty of time. David Galloway makes it up by a score of 9-0.
And they've got to get the first down on this play. 3rd and just about a yard to go.
Good point. And there it is. They do have the first down. Boys, Green. Now they'll call the timeout. And that means they have only 1 timeout remaining.
The heater on the sideline trying to keep their feet warm.
Porcelain God.
I don't know what else to call it.
I don't know. We could use a couple more here. It's cold. It's in the 20s. Shotgun. Kenny throws. And the pass is complete to Henry Marshall. And he is dropped by Carter. And I kind of thought Carter got there for the ball, but he held on to it, and play just keeps moving right along. 20. They're pretty well within the field goal range, though, of Nick Lowry. Remember, he can go long distance, and it is overthrown, and it is intercepted. It will be a touchback. Cedric Mack intercepts it. His momentum is going to take him into the end zone. They're going to rule that he made the interception. They signal a touchback, and they're bringing it out to the 20-yard line. Let's take another look.
And Kenny just overthrows the wide receiver. The important part about this play, one, is that, of course, shuts Kansas City out of the scoreboard in the first half. The other...
Well, we worked our way to halftime. And St. Louis is in front of Kansas City by a score of 9-0. And that means that NFL 86 activities, our halftime activities, will continue in a moment. And we'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
And it begins with a field goal with the Cardinals getting on the board. Or excuse me, this is one they missed. Short and to the right, and they do not get on the board, but they do here. This is the first touchdown that St. Louis scores during the first quarter all season long. That was Green getting in on the 5-yard pass from Lomax. And then the field goal goes through from a short distance for the score 9-0. Lomax did have his problems, the blitz coming in, Green making a break off, but Lomax not reading it correctly, and the interception. That set up this possibility by Kenny. With no timeouts, though, he has to go deep, try to get into the end zone. He goes to Kaufman, but the ball is intercepted, and that is the one that we mentioned before with Fred Silva. He says that, yes, the interception took place into the end zone, so it does come back to the 20-yard line. Take a look at the first half stats. The Kansas City Chiefs with only 4 first downs in the entire first half. Both rushing and passing has been anemic. 39 and 36 yards respectively, 75 total yards. Their offense in real trouble. Kenny just 7 of 15, not bad, but not for a great number of yards.
What has happened to Kansas City? They're flat. They should be up. They marked Stump's last gain for 3, and so it is 2nd and 7, and with a chance here to pick up the first down, and he does, and he breaks it down the sideline. All the way to the Kansas City 49-yard line. Gabriel Farrell. And the Cardinals beginning to mount a rushing game almost to the 40-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd down and about a yard. Whitney Paul led the defense there. The 30-yard. Good play action fake. And all alone is Farrell. There was nobody there. He goes to the 25-yard line. Ball at the 25-yard line. Over the middle, it is caught. It'll be a touchdown. J.T. Smith. And he beat Greg Hill. "25 yards on the touchdown pass, an 80-yard drive in 7 plays for the Cardinals.
Now JT's
lead Kansas City by a score of 16-0. We're going to a commercial, But we got to take another look at this. Look, J.T. Smith had his score.
And the wide receiver laments. Now, I'm sure he's going to go to the sideline and say, well, Coach, this is actually where I hurt the leg. You see, I beat the guy, and he'll grab a hold of my leg, and right at the end, I twisted a little bit because it was bothering me before. But, you know, I gutted it out, and I looked like I ran into the end zone as if nothing in the world was bothering me, and I was so excited I spiked the ball, and then I remembered through my excitement that, yeah, my ankle was hurt, and then I limped. But it really didn't happen when I spiked the football, Coach. Honest, and please don't find me.
It'll probably work for JT if he wants to.
I thought maybe it was one of your old stories. Kansas City comes out with Herman Hurd, and Hurd goes to the 39-yard line. They mark the line of scrimmage as the 31. With the gain of 8, 2nd and 2, Lonnie Young, the free safety for the Cardinals, makes the tackle. Now,
Can't throw on first down, and not just in the obvious passing situations.
They need 2 touchdowns in the field goal to try and pull it out. You know, they were the favorite coming in. A flag is down on the play as Pruitt picks up the first down. Now, speaking of penalties, to this point, prior to this flag, Kansas City 4 penalties for 63 yards. St. Louis 0. They were offsides. That'll be their first penalty, particularly in the AFC West. And basically, I don't know. You know, if they surprise everybody and win all the last ones, you know, they might slip back in. But well, that's a long haul for them. Pass far side on the first down to Henry Marshall is complete at the 45-yard line of St. Louis. And look,
you mentioned earlier, injured and out of today's action.
Kinney has pressured. He gets this one off to Hurd to the 36-yard line.
A year later, he was gone, and Herman Hurd remembers that, I'm sure.
Mike Pruitt is dropped for a loss. It's Pruitt going for the first down, and it's going to be close. You spot the ball just inside the 35. Kansas City's deepest penetration today, and that should stand up for the first down. Kinney, the pass is complete quickly to the outside, goes to Page, and Stefan is stopped by Leonard Smith, and they'll mark it at the 27-yard line.
City to throw the ball. Again, the important part, they need some points out of this. Don't keep Lowry out of field goal position.
Herman Hurd. Cedric Mack again for St. Louis. Lingner with the snap. He is hit 47 yards this year. Career, he's hit from 58. Did he get it? No, he didn't. He's going to come up short from 47 yards away.
Some of the time off of the clock. If they go to the air, short passes controlled to Green underneath and to the running backs.
And it's Green back underneath the coverage to the 35, 36-yard line. Gain of 4, so it's going to be 3rd down and 4. Lewis at their own 36-yard line. Lomax standing in, slips away. It'll pump fake. Has the first down, looks for a block, and he goes down at the 46-yard line or the 45-yard line. They'll mark it. So he scrambles for 9 and the first down, and the clock continues.
Interestingly, the Kansas City offense by Bill Kenny has produced about 100 yards more per game than they had with Todd Blackledge, but they're less than 150 yards in total offense through 3 quarters.
St. Louis first down, their own 45-yard line, leading 16-0 as they start the final period. They'll play action fake, and it is complete to Farrell, and Farrell has the first down at the 43-yard line of Kansas City. Down at the Kansas City 43. Sikahima again replacing Stump Mitchell. The pass is to Green. Green has it, and he will go out of bounds at the 33-yard line and may have the first down. That's where he had to go to. Sherman Cockcroft was chasing him.
On his count, watch him to change up a little bit. We'll find out if Moss doesn't get called for being outside once in a while.
Of course, with the injury to Derek Kennard, Ray Brown, who just activated, is in the guard spot. Here's Green. He pulls it down to the 5-yard line. And he beat Deron Cherry, who is a tough man to beat. Lomax is going to throw. It's there. J.T. Smith, his second reception for a score. Did not bring a change of clothes, parked his car in short-term parking, and he made the team.
He's going to have quite a bit when he gets back home.
For Kansas City, they lost last week by at Mile High Stadium to Denver and needed to get something going. They obviously are not going to get anything going. Did this take them out of the playoffs?
Well, there's 4 games left, and they wind up 2 games behind the Denver Broncos because they lost today. But more importantly, how do they run up against the teams they're in competition with for the wild card spot?
Kenny to throw. And this is off to Green. And perhaps the fact that Kansas City has been without Carlos Carson, who is their main deep threat, David Galloway, with plenty of time if they can get anything going, but they haven't been able to thus far. Kenny goes deep. Page, and it is incomplete. Good defensive play, a little bit underthrown.
12 men on the field on the defense, 5 yards, first down.
As he just reaches out to the St. Louis 49-yard line. Kansas Raiders, because that, I think, is where that race in the West is going to develop with what Kansas City has done here today. And here's Mike Pruitt. Pruitt goes to the 40. He picks up 9 on the play. Second down and 1. Flag is down. The pass is complete over the middle to Walt Arnold, the tight end, but there was a marker on the play.
Offside, number 79 on the defense. That penalty is refused.
Bob
Griffin, the
Clasby.
passer, number 76 on the defense. He's tacked on 15 yards.
First one called on the house. And the pass over the middle is juggled and then held by Walt Arnold. Free agent from South Carolina. His brother Rob was the backup center last year and said, why don't you give my younger brother a chance? And they did. And here's a touchdown pass to Stephon Page, and the Chiefs are finally on the scoreboard.
And that's the exact pattern that I talked before about, that Stephon Page runs so well that time.
St. Louis Cardinals now lead by a score of 23-7. We'll be back with a kickoff in just a moment.
What it was, but I think it's E.J. Jr. That's right.
Second down and 6. Kenny over the middle. And this is Jonathan Hayes, his first reception of the ball game. The tight end to the 46-yard line.
First and 10, 47.
Kenny goes deep, and Page could not get inside, and 2 flags are going to come down. Page wanted to come inside and run a post pattern, I believe, and they just wouldn't let him. He's not supposed to play. To the near side, and the pass is complete, and out is Harry.
And that is Carlos Carson.
I thought so that we picked him up. Number 88. He has that sprained foot, and Marshall and Page now the wide receivers. And it is complete, this time to Henry Marshall. And Marshall steps out at the 13-yard line. First down. It's high, but it's there, and it's a score. And it is Stephon Page with the touchdown. That is the 7th touchdown for Page this year. And the margin is now 10 with the extra point to come. Consecutive extra points. And we have 4:26 left in the ball game.
Let's find out how Stephon Page got this wide open. Being a wide receiver is kind of like being an architect. You build things. You build a pattern through the game. You go one way and come back the other. That time, he gets behind the entire defense. It was Carl Carter, number 41, the closest one to him. Let's see what he does. Carter's got a man-to-man, it appears. Gives that good outside move and beats him back to the post. But it's like being an architect. You build things through a contest. You come up.
St. Louis leading 23-14. They led 23-0. It was more comfortable for them then. Remember that Nick Lowry's longest field goal has a career field goal of 58 yards. Incomplete. Roy Green, the intended receiver, That stops the clock, and it is 4th down and 6.
The Cardinals surprisingly went to two very strange and very conservative plays during that first part of that series.
You're a St. Louis fan, you know, you got all the fingers crossed on this one. And he steps away, drops it to Paul Kaufman, and Kaufman is dropped.
And Kaufman makes the mistake, surprisingly for the veteran, of tumbling back inside instead of heading for the sideline.
Clipping, number 40 on the offense, still 2nd down.
You see Boyce Green going to the back of, is that Cedric? No, it's Carl Carter, number 41. And really an unusual, he didn't have to push it at all. He still made the tackle. In that circumstance, just let him go, just allow the receiver to try to get out of bounds.
Those are mistakes you just simply cannot make, as we have these are the games now going on with ours. Kansas City at their 14, trailing 23-14. Kinney throws, and it is complete at the 39-yard line to Henry Marshall. And now remember, to win, they need a touchdown and a field goal. Far side, and the pass is, they're going to call the pass, are they going to call it good there? Yes, they're going to call it good and out of bounds, stopping the clock. 1:34, it is Henry Marshall.
After the first play of this series, and a mistake by Kenny by not getting a play off before the 2-minute warning.
3rd and 10. It is incomplete. 47-yard line of St. Louis. All that other speculation will go over the wayside here if you don't pick up the first down. It is knocked away by Cedric Mack. J.T. Smith, 2 touchdown receptions, 5 receptions for 65 yards. And remember, it is sweet revenge for J.T. because he was with the Kansas City Chiefs for 7 years before they let him go.
And interestingly enough, the last time these two teams played, he wound up returning a punt for a touchdown for the Kansas City Chiefs to beat St. Louis.
That's
so
right.
He had the double whammy.
3 times, ineffective, replaced by Thompson.
And so the layoff really hurt McMahon with that sore shoulder in a couple of weeks.
Looking forward to seeing him. We played golf at the Diners Shore last year. Looking forward to seeing him next week. On the ball, bounces up. It may never have touched the ground. Here goes Page. And Page goes out of bounds inside the 20.
That's unbelievable.
I think he's just winded, though, isn't he? All right, now let's take another look.
Well, where does this ball bounce? Does it hit another player and bounce back up in the air?
All right, hits the Cardinal. Goes down, comes up. Now, did the ball hit the turf?
It's tough to tell from that particular angle. But a heads-up play anyway by Page. I mean, he has no idea where it bounced, where it hit. He might as well go and give it a shot.
Yeah, we need to take another look at that. That's deservative of a deservative. That's a new word that I created for this play. Ken Edmondson and Harry Coyle have captured for us.
And that's Cedric Mack with the interception, near interception. When he hits the ground, the ball pound. Now, here's another question. Did he have position before he hit the ground? And when he hits the ground...
Did the ground cause the fumble?
Right.
Hey.
Did he or did he not? There's a lot.
Based on review by the replay official, the play stands. It's an interception, 1st down.
So the ruling then is that he had possession, he hit the ground, and the ball the fumble was forced by the ground.
All right, now look at that again. What he is saying is that the Cardinals have the interception, and then when they come down, the ball is jarred loose by the ground. The ground cannot cause a fumble.
Now the question, does he have complete possession before he hits the ground?
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 20 on the defense, 15 yards, 1st down.
Kansas City 14. And so for the St. Louis Cardinals, their record now is 3-9, and for the Kansas City Chiefs, the struggle goes on. In the West, the record is 7-5. As Denver has lost, the Giants win. Chicago wins by 2. Cincinnati wins by 4. Cleveland in overtime. The victors. New England had to come from behind the last couple of minutes of that ball game. Houston wins. Detroit wins. Washington with a big lead, and the Rams in front of New Orleans. San Francisco and